Hello guys, welcome to the fiction series. Today we are gonna see, what if Naruto was the ancient warrior? Huge shout out to SAGEOF6way for this story. If you want more awesome fan fiction like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. So without wasting any time, let's get into the video. Ninjutsu. In a field lay the bodies of about 10,000 soldiers. As the panning of battlefield, you see the remaining rookie 11, all laying on the ground. As it continues, the scope of the field lay the fallen leaders of the alliance, the Kages, and the leader of the samurais dead on the field of battle. In the Akatsuki base, a man with his purple mask is facing a man of 17 years with blonde hair and a red cloak with black flames. He had red pigment around his eyes. On his shoulder are two toads, one male and green skin, the other is female and has grey skin and purple lipstick. "It's over, Madara, I freed the Bijuu and they are now in Maki to be revitalized," said the blonde. Madara laughs. "You ruined my plans, boy. I have no further need to take you alive," said the madman as he goes through some seals. "Fire style. Grand fireball jutsu," shouted Madara as he fire a fireball out of his mouth. The blonde form a cross seal massive shadow clone jutsu, he shouted as 300 clones are formed and they all charge Madara. The fireball takes about 50 of them. Madara takes out all the clones, but not without injury to his body. "I should not be pushed this far by you, Naruto," said the elder Uchiha. He hears a screeching noise and sees Naruto forming his most powerful move, the Rasen Shuriken. Naruto throws it. After it gets strong enough, it reaches Madara but then passes through. "Nice try," taunted Madara. Naruto smirks. "You forgot I can expand it," said Naruto as he closes his fist and his thrown move get bigger and engulf Madara as the smoke covers Naruto's vision. Naruto stands in guard for a little bit as the smoke from the attack clears. "Did I get him?" asked Naruto to himself. Part of the smoke clears and Naruto sees an orange rib cage and then a full skeleton. Standing in the middle is Madara cackling at Naruto as Naruto growls. "Damn, he just had to pull his Susanoo out of his ass," growled Naruto. Madara cackles further. "Looks like my shield saved me, right Naruto?" said the masked villain. Naruto is on his knees breathing hard. "Naruto boy, are you alright?" asked the male toad. Naruto controls his breathing. "Thank Kami for Sage Mode. I won't run out of chakra anytime soon unless I use 5 more Rasen Shurikens," said Naruto. "What now, boy? Your prize technique is useless against my ultimate Susanoo," said Madara. Naruto closes his eyes. "Guess I have no choice. Elders, I need you to leave," said Naruto. The toad elders look at him shocked. "Naruto-kun, you can't be serious," shouted the female toad. Naruto glares at Madara. "I am going to use it to finally break the unbreakable Susanoo," said Naruto. The male toad gasps. "You're going to use that move? You'll die if you use it," he said, trying to talk Naruto out of it. Naruto sighs. "Forgive me, elders," he whispers as he forces the two back to their summoning realm. "I think I have about 5 minutes till Sage Mode runs out," thought Naruto. Madara looks on amused. "Looks like your summons abandoned you," said the last Uchiha. Naruto smirks. "That's what you think. I ordered them to flee so they don't become casualties from my final technique," said the toad sage as he goes through about 50 hand seal. Sealing jutsu. Reaper Death Seal, he shouted as a skeletal figure in a grey robe and a sword in his mouth appears. Madara laugh. "I know what you're planning, boy, and it won't work. My new eyes, the immortal eternal Manjutsu Sharingan, makes me practically immortal," said the masked man laugh like a lunatic. Naruto smirks. "Yes, normally, but I have given the Shinigami most of QB's chakra," he said. Naruto rushes forward and grabs Susanoo and the Reaper sticks his hand into the shield and through Madara and pulls out both souls of Naruto and the madman. It's wide as both Madara and Naruto are laying on the ground and a small fox with 9 tails look down sadly. "Why are you releasing me? I have done nothing but hurt you," asked the fox. Naruto weakly smiles. "You have atoned for your mistakes by helping me fight Madara," he said. The man with a scythe and white hair appears. "Are you ready, Namikaze?" he asked. Naruto smiles. "Yes, I am Shinigami-sama," he said. The fox stands in front of the man defiantly. "Take me instead," said the QB as Naruto eyes widen. "QB no," said Naruto weakly. The man looks at the two. "Interesting. QB, may I ask why?" said the man. "With all due respect, Shinigami-sama, but he has lived a hard life of pain and suffering. He deserves better and I want to atone by helping my container one last time," said the fox. "Please, Shinigami-sama, take me either as a sacrifice or servant," said the fox. The man smiled. "I have another idea," he said. The QB looks puzzled. "What do you mean?" asked the fox. Shinigami looks at them. "I will take 5 tails of the QB's power, while Naruto will gain the QB power of the rest and will be able to communicate with each other," he said. "Do you accept?" asked Shinigami. Both look at each other and nod their head. "Very well, you will never age and can only be killed by getting your head cut off," said the god. The god reaches to the fox's tails, plucks out 5 of them and the two merge. On the outside, Naruto's eyes open. "I am still alive, but what is the point if my friends and comrades are dead?" said the blonde, crying. He turns and walks away, never to be seen for a millennium because of his guilt keeping the peace from the shadows. 1976 Egypt. A dark-skinned girl was running away. A mob was chasing her. "Get the witch," shouted the mob as the girl runs faster. She continues to run when she run into a cloaked figure in the leg. The man looks down at the girl as she backs away. "Sorry sir, please don't hurt me," she said with a shaky voice. "Why would I do that, little one?" asked the man in with concern. The mob stops and sees the cloaked man. "Please will you hand over that witch?" asked one of the men. The cloaked man looked at the mob. "I see no witch here. Why don't you try Oz? Follow the yellow brick road and you will find one," said the man. The mob surround the lone man who was stared at each member. "Hand her over, foreigner," shouted the leader. Naruto grabbed into his pouch and pulled out one kunai. "Turn around so you don't see what I am going to do to these monsters," he said. The girl closes her eyes. "You call yourself humans?" spat the cloaked man. "All I see are pieces of filth that has lost the right to be called human," said the man as he stand in front of the mob with girl behind him. The mob charged the man. "Let's just say they were beaten but not killed." The man advances slowly on the mob that have been beaten but is stopped by the girl hand holding his hand. "Please don't kill them," she asked. The man smiled. "Very well then," said the man as he turns to the mob. "You should thank the one you were chasing because she doesn't want you dead," said the man. "You're on notice. If you go after her one more time I will show no mercy," he said. He turns to the girl. "Let's go, little one. I want you with me for now so I can protect you," said the man. The girl shakes her head and the man sees fear in her eyes. "I guess you don't trust me, right?" asked the cloaked man. The girl nods her head. "Very well, I understand," said the man as he reaches for his hood. The girl backs up fearfully. "I won't hurt you, little one," said the man as he takes off his hood, revealing yellow hair with red streak. The 6-year-old blushed at his face. "You know you are too young, little one, for a boyfriend," said the man with humor. The girl tries to glare at the man, but it turns to a pout. "What is your name, little one?" he asked. "I am Aurora Monroe," said the girl. The man smiles. "Well, my name is Naruto Namikaze. Where do you live, Aurora?" asked the now named Naruto. "I live in an alley," she said. Naruto eyes narrow. "I will not have you sleeping in the wide open. Come with me, Aurora," said the former sage. The ancient warrior. Naruto was carrying a young Aurora in his arm. "Looks like she fell asleep," thought Naruto. "I can't believe those idiots would do something like this to a child," said voice in Naruto's head. Naruto smiles. "It has been a while, Kurama," he thought. 200 years since I lost a lot power fighting that damn Shadow King," said the QB. Naruto sighed. "You sensed it too, Kurama?" asked the ninja. "Indeed, it was in that mob that attacked the child," said the fox. Naruto laid the young girl in his bed to get a good night's sleep. "We will have to stand guard over Aurora," he thought. "More importantly, have you sensed this girl's chakra levels?" asked the QB. "Yes, Chunin at least, which means only one thing," thought Naruto. "She has the mutation gene," said the QB. "I guess I can train her if she has no control over her powers. I will talk to her tomorrow," thought Naruto. Naruto sits down and meditates, "So I will see what I can do to help her," he thought. Next morning Aurora woke. "Where am I?" she thought as she looks around. "That man saved me, I remember," she thought. "Aurora, do you want breakfast?" shouted Naruto's voice. The young girl jumped out and ran into the kitchen. On the table was pancakes and bacon. "Eat up, Aurora," said Naruto. The two ate in silence, and when they finished Aurora stood up. "Thank you, Naruto, for saving me," she said. Naruto looks at her with sad eyes. "Listen, Aurora, I can't sit by and do nothing," he said. "I need to go to the market," said Naruto. "You want to come?" he asked. Aurora nodded her head and the two leaves after cleaning the kitchen. They get to the market and head to the shop that is selling fruits. Naruto goes up to the seller and hands him a list. "I need these items for a stew I am making tonight," said the immortal. Naruto gets the items and walks out. "Aurora, where are you?" said Naruto. 10 minutes earlier. Aurora was standing in the front of the store when a hand put a cloth with chloroform over her mouth, knocking her out. "Present." Naruto closes his eye, then reopens them. "Found her," he said as he took off to her signature. He came to a stall where a tan-skinned man with Muslim garbs was selling antiques. "Can I help you, sir?" said the seller. "Just looking at what you have," said Naruto with a smile as he walks away into the back of the stall that connects to a shop. "Kurama, you sent something familiar from the shopkeeper?" asked Naruto. "Yes, it's him. He escaped his prison," said the fox. Naruto went back to the shopkeeper and looked him in the eye. "Where is Aurora?" "Shadow King," he growled. The man chuckled. "She is my little thief and servant," he said. Naruto dodges a black appendage. "Neither of us can hurt each other on this plane," said Naruto. "But there is a way to seal you that I have found," he said as he grabs a scroll. "Sealing jutsu, shadow sealing of purity," he shouted as the shadow exits the seller's body and is sent into the scroll. The body falls down. "He is alive," thought Naruto as he checks his pulse. He head into the back and opens a secret passage and walks in. He gets to a round room with about 10 children chained up. Aurora looks up. "Naruto, you came," she said. Naruto formed 10 clones and had them go to each child and unchain them. Naruto calls the law enforcement and they round up the children minus Aurora, who Naruto has taken responsibility for. "Aurora, I have an idea," said Naruto. The young girl looks at him. "What is it, Naruto?" she asked. "I would like to train you in martial arts so you can protect yourself," he said. The girl smiles. "I would like that, Naruto," she said. Naruto looks down at her. "Very well, during our sessions you will master Namikaze, but anywhere else you can call me Naruto," said the blonde. The girl nodded her head. 8 years later. Naruto was standing in the forest. In front was an 14-year-old Aurora. "Show what you got, Aurora," said Naruto as he got into a stance. The 14-year-old rushed Naruto and tried to punch him, but he jumped over her and blocks roundhouse kick courtesy of Aurora. Naruto turns around and sweeps her leg from under her. She flips back to her feet but is breathing hard. Naruto starts to clap. "Well done, you soaked up everything I taught you. There is little more I can teach you," said Naruto. The preteen sniffled. "Master, I have been having visions," she said. "I see a land with no water and people dying from dehydration," she said. "The weather has been extremely dry in Africa, so I don't know where it is," he said. "The girl, I would like go there and see if I can help," she said. "Naruto thinks would like me to come with you, Aurora," he asked. "Sorry, it is something I must do, alone," she said. Naruto goes into his coat pocket. "I was going to give it to you next birthday as a symbol of learning from me," said Naruto as he pulls out a chain with half a leaf symbol. "The girl, you're really giving this to me?" she asked. Naruto smiled. "I have the other half, and if we meet again we will each show each other the other piece," said Naruto. The girl looks at the man she respects. "Thank you, master," she said. Naruto ruffled her hair. "I wish you the best of luck, Aurora," he said. Next day Naruto saw his student leave as she goes on her own adventure, and with a wave of the hand they never see each other. 5 years later in Nigeria. The blonde was sitting in a village hut helping out the sick using some medical ninjutsu. Naruto finished up his last patient and went to the bar. "Did you hear about Kenya's weather goddess?" said one person. "Could it be Aurora?" thought Naruto. Naruto went over to the table. "Let me buy you a drink, my friend, and you can tell me of this weather goddess," he said. "Bartender, drinks on my tab for this table," said Naruto. The bartender gets the drinks. "This goddess is said to be able to control the weather and be able to heal the minor sickness," said the man. "When she went to Kenya, it was a wasteland with no ability to grow crops due to the weather. She used her magic to make rain fall, and they worshipped her as a goddess, even though she disliked the title," said the man. "Thanks for the story. The next round drink is on me for you guys," said Naruto. Naruto walks out. "I am glad she is making a difference and she doesn't let it fuel her ego," he thought. 2 years later. Naruto was in a village in Kenya and was waiting for an audience with the chief. An African man came out of the hut. "You would like to speak with me?" asked the man. Naruto bowed. "Yes, if you don't mind, I would like an offer a tribute to your weather goddess," he said. The man frowned. "She is not here. She left with a man named Charles Xavier to teach in the United States," said the chief. Naruto bowed. "Thank you for your time, chief," he said. If you find her, keep her safe. She holds you in high regards, Namikaze," said the man. "Thank you for the kind words," said Naruto as he leaves the hut. He exits the village and smile. "I am glad she is doing for the world," he thought. JFK Airport, New York. "Flight from Air Africa unloading," said the overhead voice. Naruto walks out of the gate and leaves the airport. "Now I think from what I heard about the locals, Xavier's school is in Bayville, New York, which is a 3-hour car drive," he thought. He walks in downtown New York when he feels someone reaching into one of his pockets. He turns around and grabs the arm in his pocket. He turns around and the boy looked around and at Naruto and turned to liquid and went into the storm drain. Naruto looked at the storm drain. "I guess the mutant aren't as revered here as in Africa," he thought with a sigh. He gets a covered manhole and goes into the sewer and walks down a dim hallway in the tunnel and came into a giant circle. He went through some hand seal and he turned invisible. He continues to walk around and he sees several mutants with hopelessness in their eyes. "Talk about depressing," he thought. "What are you doing here?" shouted a gruff voice. Naruto turned around and saw an albino animal mutant. "I didn't think anyone would sense me cloaked," said Naruto. Naruto drops the cloak and the mutants all surround him. "So much for a warm welcome," he said. "Let's talk like civilized people," said Naruto. "You are not allowed here, human," said a female voice. Naruto turned around and came face to face with a barrel of a gun. "I seem to get into these situations quite often, and you are who?" asked Naruto as he appraises the pale woman with a black patch on her eyes. "My name is Callisto, human. That is all you're getting out of me," she said. Naruto sighed. "That is all I was asking," he said. The young girl walks in and collapses. Naruto looks at the girl with worry. "What is wrong with her?" he asked. Callisto sighs. "She has a disorder that will paralyze her in a few years," said the woman. Naruto walks to the down girl. "Get away from her," demanded Callisto. "I am going to see if I can treat it," he said. "Very well, but you be under guard," she said. Naruto goes through some seal and his hand glows green. He places it on the girl's body and goes up and down the length for a diagnostic. I see, she has a blood-borne illness, said Naruto. Callisto looks with a frown. Can you help her? She asked. Yes, it will take a while, thought, he said. All I have to do is isolate the illness and then destroy it, he said. Naruto takes a deep breath and focuses chakra in his hand and places them back on different part of the body, isolating the illness in one area and wiping it out. This continues for about 2 hours before he finishes the treatment. That should take care of that, he said. He turns to Callisto. She won't be able to walk for about few days. Help her on the third day slowly for her leg. She will be wobbly, but will get better with time, he said. Thank you, you've done more than anyone else would, said the leader. I can't someone else suffer. I was happy to help those in need, said Naruto. The Morlocks are in your debt, said Callisto. No, you aren't, just try to stay healthy, said the blonde. Naruto walks away and climbs out of the sewer. He get to Bayville in 4 hours by bus and was walking around a park. This is a quaint area, He walks around and he gets to a mansion. This must be it, thought Naruto. Xavier's School for the Gifted, said a sign on the gate. Naruto closed his eyes and smirked. Let's do this the way I usually do it, screwing the rules, he thought as he vanished in a swirl of leaves. He reappears on the roof and opens the skylight and jumps down. In the mansion, a bald man in a wheelchair was talking to a man with wild hair and a scowl, and a woman with dark skin and white hair. We have an intruder in the mansion. Aurora and Logan gather the others and find him, said the professor as the two left the study. Naruto was walking in the top level when he comes face to face with Logan and a teen with red hair and red glasses. Alright bub, who are you? Snarled Logan. Naruto smirks underneath his mask. Beat me and find out, he said. Logan extends his claw and rushes the Naruto. The masked ninja jumps up and lands behind the man and sending him into a wall with a powerful kick. The teen fire and red energy beam out of his eyes but is extinguished with water. How there is no water source? Asked a teen before he gets knocked out by a jet of water. You forgot there is water everywhere, even the air we breathe, said Naruto. 3 more came up the stairs. One had blue fur, the second one was a red-headed teen girl, and the last one had brown hair. The one with the blue fur vanished in a plume of smoke. Naruto grabs behind him as the furry dude is reappearing and is thrown against a wall. Naruto notices that there is one missing. Where is the brown-haired girl, he thought. He stares the red-haired teen and smirks. Gain jutsu. Sleep illusion, he said as the girl falls down. Naruto reaches into the floor and grabs a hand that tries to grab his ankles and pulls the brown-haired girl up and karate chops her in the neck. Naruto leaves the knocked-out girl and goes downstairs. He comes face to face with 3 people. One is a girl with brown hair and white highlights. She is all covered up and looks gothic. The second is a dark-skinned male with a white t-shirt, and the third is a dark-skinned woman with white hair. The last opponents, said Naruto. The dark-skinned youth fires bones out of his arms, but Naruto avoids them. I am going to say this once, you need to come together to beat a stronger opponent, and remember these words, those who fail a mission are trash, but those who abandon their comrades are worse than trash, said Naruto. Aurora eyes widen. It can't be him, she thought. Flashback. Naruto was sitting on the ground. With 10-year-old Aurora sitting across from him. Aurora, pick if you had complete a mission or save a comrade, what would you pick? Asked Naruto. The girl contemplates. I would save the comrade, she said. That's why you will be strong, young Aurora. Remember, those who fail a mission or disobey orders are trash, but those who abandon their comrades are worse than trash, he said. Yes master, she said. Flashback end. Aurora looks at the man as he takes out the girl and teen. I knew it is you master, she said. The man removes his hood and mask. Well done, weather goddess of Kenya, said Naruto. Why did you attack my students? She asked calmly with her arms crossed over her chest. Naruto smirks. Just to test them and see how they would do in an actual battle, he said with a shrug. What now? Asked Aurora. Naruto gets into a stance. The test is still on, so we have to fight, he said. The woman gets into the same stance and the two rush each. Naruto goes for a kick, but Aurora blocks it and retaliated with a knee to the chest, which causes Naruto to stumble back a little. Naruto turns around and roundhouse kicks her to the midsection, causing her to fly back a little. She runs forward at good speed, tries to go for an uppercut, but Naruto throws his head back and palm thrust her in the abdomen. Naruto smiles while Aurora breathes hard. Impressive, you have improved, but I am still wearing weights, Aurora, he said. Aurora smirks. So am I, master, she said as she sits on the ground and rolls up her pant legs. Naruto smiles as he sees weights on her ankles. She unhooks them and drops them on the ground, making a small crater. She vanishes in pure speed as Naruto looks around. Speed is definitely improved, he thought as he feels a kick to his chin, causing him to fly to the ceiling. He looks down and sees Aurora below him as she grabs him and turns him so his head is faced the floor. She rotates him frontal lotus, she shouts as she pile drives him into the ground. As Naruto hit the ground he disappears in a wind. What, she said. A wind clone, but how? She asked herself as she held her dot. Naruto walks out from behind a pillar. I made a clone before I came in to test you and had it follow me under the wind camouflage and then I used replacement move, he said. Aims are over. Time to get serious, said Naruto as he takes off his shirt and drops it making a crater. Aurora blushes at the abs on Naruto. Maybe I should put my shirt back on, asked a freaked out Naruto as he sees the other girls that have woken up stare him with drools. You drooling girls and I'm much too old for you, he said. Then rolling up his pant leg and removing weight and places them on the ground, I feel about 620 pound lighter, he said. The X-Men all gasp after they came in during the Lotus move. Man, that is insane, shouted the black teen. Naruto vanishes and reappears behind Aurora and tickles her neck. I saw you looking like what you see, asked Naruto. Aurora smirk. If I say yes will you let me win? She asked. Are they flirting? Asked the blue-furred mutant in a German accent. Now what opponent would let his enemy win? Naruto asked. The flirtatious type, she said as she vanished as well. Logan sniff. I remember this scent now that he is building up a sweat, he thought. Aurora won't win, exclaimed Logan with a growl. The others look at him. She is holding out pretty well, said the teen with glasses. Wrong Summers, he is letting her hold out, said Logan. I fought him in Japan with Silver Samurai named Hinata on my side and he destroyed us by catching our blades and anticipate our next moves. We lasted about 5 minutes by either avoiding our blades or catching them with some energy, making the Silver Samurai's ability to cut through anything useless, he said. His name is Namikaze Naruto, dubbed the deadly artist for his crippling blows he can deliver and possible kill his enemy with little effort, said Logan. That name sound familiar, said the blue mutant. Naruto was trading blows with Aurora as they both reappear breathing very hard and each had bruises their exposed parts of the body. Naruto smirked. It's over, he said. Aurora continues to breathe hard. What do you mean? She asked. Naruto smile. Look on your legs and arms and you will see a paralyzes seal, he said. Aurora's eyes widened. Damn, I forgot that he is a seal's master, she said. Paralyze, said Naruto as he makes a hand seal freezing Aurora's limbs. I win Aurora, said Naruto. Naruto looks around. I must say you fought okay against an experienced enemy, but you did not fight together which caused you to lose quickly, said the ninja. Professor, have anything to add, said Naruto as the bald man rolled up in his wheelchair. Just that they need to work on their tactics, he said. I would like to formally welcome you to the institute. Aurora spoke highly of you when I offered her a teaching job in the mansion, he said. Naruto, thank for your word. Now let release my former student for the seal, he said as he snaps his fingers and Aurora start to move around. Well done. I would like to congratulate Aurora on passing my final test, which was a battle that she must last for 2 hours against me one-on-one, said Naruto. Naruto grabbed a scroll and places his hand on it. I would like to present my second headband with the first leaf symbol I got from a very precious person who acknowledged me, he said as the ninja remember Iruka. Aurora hold the cloth and metal plate as if it will fall apart. Thank you master, she said. Naruto smiles. I am no longer your master, we are equals Master Aurora Monroe, he said. You mean, she started. Naruto smiles. That is right, you can pick one student to train as can I since I have no student as of a minute ago, he said. You made me a proud sensei Aurora, he said with a smile. Naruto was sitting in the foyer of the institute. What brings you here Naruto? Asked Aurora as she handed him a cup of tea. Thank you, I thought it was time to stop moving around the world and settle down for a bit, he said. He took a sip. Very good, mint flavor, he said as he takes another sip. The professor sits in his wheelchair. So Mr. Namikaze, why did you show up now? He asked. I would like to teach 2 of your students in controlling their power and teach Ms. Jean Grey about medical ninjutsu and teach them all basic katas, Naruto said. Aurora has told me about your training method and if you can help them control their power, then you are welcome to try, said Xavier. Scott Summers I can teach easily as his ability I am familiar with, however Rogue is different and will take me a while to figure out how she uses her power before I can help her control it, said Naruto. What do you mean Mr. Namikaze? Asked the bald man. Naruto sigh. Scott is using an ability that is called Dijutsu or the visual jutsu. All he has to do is shut off the flow of chakra around his eyes. However he will have to work on his control before that including meditation, said Naruto. Rogue is a different matter and I have to research her power. I have an idea, but it is better to be sure, said Naruto. We would appreciate any help you can provide Mr. Namikaze, said Xavier. I have already accepted a job to Bayville High as a physical ed teacher, said Naruto. The 2 adults raise an eyebrows. Why? Asked Aurora. I need extra cash, said Naruto. I have the degree from a few years ago in education and physical and health education, he said. Very well, you can start on the control of their powers on Saturday, said Xavier. Naruto turned to Aurora. Hey Aurora, you want to catch up over dinner and a movie? Asked Naruto. The woman smiled. I would love to, she said. Naruto smiled. I will pick you up at 6 tonight, I have to get ready, he said. Naruto walks away leaving Aurora to her thoughts as the situation dawns on her. Yes, he finally asked, she said as she jumped up. She then looked around. Good, no one saw that, she said. At 6 in the mansion, Naruto was waiting in the foyer when Aurora came down dressed in a black dress and necklace with the chain Naruto gave her. The students in the foyer looked at Aurora. Holy shit, said Scott, only to get slapped by Jean. Naruto got up from the couch and offered his arm. You ready, my weather goddess, said the ninja. Aurora smiled. Of course, my handsome savior, she said as the two walked to a black limo parked outside the mansion. Naruto opens the door as he lets Aurora go in first and he goes in after. How did you get a limo? Asked Aurora. Naruto smirked. My books are selling well, he said. They finally got published? She asked. Naruto takes out a book. This is the first one, titled The Founders Hashirama and Tobirama Senju, he said. The limo pulls up to a Greek tavern and Aurora eyes widen. This place is a 5-star restaurant, she exclaimed. Naruto walks up to the hostess. Reservation for Namikaze, he said. Outside, the students were spying on the two. So what is going on? Asked Scott. The two just got a table, said the African teen. Back to the date. Naruto and Aurora just ordered. You know they are spying on us? Asked Aurora. Naruto smirked. I know, and I am already thinking of the prank, he said. Naruto had a glint in his eye. I got it, he said. Naruto get close to Aurora and she does as well. The student that were outside were shocked. He is going for, said Scott as he feels a finger on his shoulder. Not now, Kurt, it's getting good, he said. Scott, dad isn't me, said the blue-furred mutant. Scott turns around and comes face to face with a monster. Boo, it said as Scott in a panic blasted and it disappears in slim that gets everywhere and on everyone. Naruto got the memory of the clone that worked, one of the many uses of clones in Henge, he said. The two laugh at the prank that was pulled. That will teach them not to spy on us, said Aurora. The night went by uneventfully as Aurora was getting her purse. Naruto gave her a look. It's on me, Aurora. Put your purse away, he said. Aurora smirked. Make me, she said. Naruto looked amused. Really, he said as he kisses Aurora on the lips and slipped his card in the waitress's hand. The men were whistling and barking in the immediate area. Naruto gave them a glare from the corner of his eyes, shutting them up. Aurora kissed back slight but pulled back after realizing what happened. You know that was a low blow, she said playfully, slapping him. True, but I enjoyed it. How about you? He asked. Aurora smiles. It was my first kiss, she said. The two left and went to the theater in the limo. What do you want to see, Aurora? Asked Naruto. Romance, she said. Very well, he said as he got to the ticket booth. Due for the midnight sun, he said. Naruto paid the attendant and walked in. The movie was about a man who raped a young woman and she gets help from a dashing fighter that rescues her and teaches her his fighting style, and it ends with the fighter falling in love with his student. Naruto was amazed. Story of our life for the most part, he said. Aurora just nodded. Small world, she said. They got back to the mansion and Naruto tipped the driver very nicely. Thank you for taking us, said Naruto. The driver nodded. Thank you, sir, said the driver. Naruto walked in and saw the students had fun. He asked. The students were sweating. We stayed here and chilled, said Evans. Naruto reached into his pocket. Then I guess the prank did not happen? He asked as he pulled out photos of the teen and Slim. Next time don't spy on a date with anyone who can sense energy and has pranking skills, said Naruto. The teens laughed nervously as Naruto walked away with Aurora, a mischievous smile on his face. Xavier rolled up. So how was your evening? He asked. Naruto and Aurora blushed as Xavier caught a thought in both their head and he smiled. I assume it went well, he said. Naruto glared at the professor as Aurora pouted. Don't tease us, Charles, said Aurora. The professor smiled. Very well, don't do anything dirty you two because you will have the same room, he said. Naruto and Aurora started to protest. I think it will do you both some good to get to know each other better and to catch up, said the professor. Naruto sighed. I guess we can't talk you out of this? Asked the ninja. Don't worry, you will have separate beds, the bald man said. The two head upstairs grumbling about matchmaking bald people and how to prank them. Well, Naruto thought the last part. I better watch my back with Naruto despite his age. He pranks like a kid. If the student were anything to go by when they got back, thought Xavier as he rolled his way back to his study. Naruto was waking up and saw that Aurora was in the same room, but different beds. I am so pranking that man, thought Naruto. Oh no you don't, said Professor's voice in his head. Damn telepath, said Naruto as he sent an image of him flicking the professor off in his mind. That was uncalled for, Naruto, said the professor with a chuckle. Naruto closed his mind off talking to the professor. Asked Aurora. Early morning banter between us, said Naruto. Naruto walked downstairs and smirked at Charles who was reading the paper. Aurora came down next and got coffee while Naruto got toast and buttered it up. Well, I better go, I have to get to Bayville High before the students, he said. Have fun with the runts, said Logan as he was drinking his coffee. Naruto walked out and got in his car and drove off. Naruto got to the school and walked to the principal office. Inside, a brown-haired woman with a gray suit with a skirt and a scowl was sitting behind her desk. "Mr. Namikaze, it is pleasure to welcome to your first day of the school marking period," she said with her hand extended. Naruto shook it. "Thank you, Principal Darkholm, for the chance to teach," he said. "The school board has approved your lesson for martial arts for the remainder of the school year under one condition. They must write an essay of topic of your choosing," she said. Naruto bowed. "Thank you," he said as he looked next to the desk. "Better get to class," he said. Naruto headed to the gymnasium and got his lesson plans ready while waiting for the students. He has the first period off, so he goes to the staff lounge. On the way, he sees trouble brewing. A brown-haired man was harassing a kitty with Xavier's student, getting ready to jump in with Scott on the floor. "Lance," I said. "I am not going out," said Kitty. Lance tried to grab her arm only for it to be caught. Naruto is standing there, his hand holding the wrist and a finger on Lance's forehead. "I think what Ms. Pride said is no," said Naruto. "What the hell, I can't move my hand," thought Lance. "I am going to release you, and you and Scott will both come with me," demanded Naruto. Scott got up. "Naruto," he said. "Mr. Namikaze to both of you from now on," said Naruto as he releases Lance's hand. "The rest of you leave. Scott and Lance will come with me," said Naruto. The three head to the office and Scott and Lance wait while Naruto talks to the principal. After waiting for about 10 minutes, Naruto comes out. "You both will be giving detention with me as punishment after school," said Naruto. Naruto head to his class and gets ready for the students. As they start to trickle in, he see most of the X-Men team and the Brotherhood teens as well. "Morning class this year will be dedicated to teaching you self-defense to protect yourself," he said. "I have several rules that must be followed. 1. No fighting any of your fellow students unless it's in a spar that I am observing. 2. You will follow every instruction I give," he said. "And finally, you not abuse anything I teach and is meant to be used to defend, not bully. If any disobeys these rules, they will fail the class with no exceptions," he said. Naruto smiled. "I want everyone to get in a stance, any stance you can think of, and I will help you from there," he said. "The students get into their stances that the professional fighter would be ashamed of. We will have to work on stance," he thought. "Mr. Duncan, you are in a boxing stance, correct?" asked Naruto. "Yes sir," said the blonde-haired football player. "It's weak, but I think I got a decent stance for you. Form Thailand called Muay Thai," he said. "Copy my stance," said Naruto as the football player copies it. Naruto shows him the proper way to throw a thrust with a knee and kick. Naruto leaves him to practice as he helps the other students with their stances. After school, Naruto gets to his office waiting for Scott and Lance. "The two walk in. Good, I think we will begin you punishment. Follow me you two," said the ninja as he walk outside followed by the two teens. They get to the field behind the school. "Here is the test, you must take this bell," he said as he takes out a bell. "The one to take it is free to leave within 1 hour," said Naruto. The two nods their head. "Ready, go," said Naruto as he throw 2 smoke pellets blocking their vision. The smoke clears and they don't any sign of Naruto. "Lance, we can't one-on-one," said Scott, only to see that Lance was nowhere to be found. "Damn it, Lance, though, Scott." The brown-haired youth was glaring at Naruto. "You think you can beat me, Mr. Namikaze?" asked a confident Lance. Naruto pulled out a book. "Say that after you get the bell," smirked Naruto. Lance raised his hand midway and the ground started to shake as Naruto stood in the same position. "That won't help against me and my experience, Lance," said Naruto without a care. Naruto kicks the rock coming at him without looking. "Are you done?" asked Naruto. Naruto dodges a red beam. "Not bad, taking advantage of my distraction," he said. He sees Scott covering Lance. "I know the purpose of the test, Mr. Namikaze," said Scott. "Oh," said Naruto. Scott grabs Lance and flees into some trees. "Well done, Scott, you already pass," thought Naruto with a smile. Lance stands up. "What happened?" he asked. "There is a hidden purpose to this test, Lance," said Scott. "Yeah right," said the Earth Mover. "You idiot, he is far superior to even Logan, and he know we can't even get close to beating him," said Scott. "How do you want to do this then?" asked Lance with resignation. Naruto was walking around when a rock goes whizzing by his head and he turns his head to see Scott charging him, but the earth carries Scott over Naruto as he unleash optic beams at the teacher. Naruto dodges every blast but smiles as the clock sounds off. "You both failed to get the bell, but you managed to put difference aside to common foe. Because of that you pass. Congrats, see you tomorrow in gym," said Naruto. The two head off the field with Naruto walking to the parking lot. Naruto gets to the mansion and see Charles there. "How was your first day?" asked the professor. "Eventful," said Naruto. "By the way, where is Aurora?" asked Naruto. "She is in the indoor garden," said Xavier. Naruto smiles. "Thank you," he said. "Naruto, don't hesitate for any form of happiness just because of your situation," said Xavier. Naruto glares at the man, "But it's softened. I am just tired of this curse given me by the Shinigami. Immortality is overrated," said the ninja. Xavier's sigh opened up to Aurora, she trusts you with her life, you should trust her with you, secrets, said the professor. Naruto smiled sadly thank for the advice Charles, my memory can break even the greatest assassin or soldier by the brutality of my past, he said. If you let me view some of them I can help you through this problem, Xavier said. I will think about it, but I need to talk to Aurora and see if she want to go to dinner, I will see you later, said Naruto. Naruto walks to the garden. Aurora, do you want to go out to dinner tonight? He asked. The dark-skinned woman smiled. I would love to, but this time I am paying, she said. Naruto smiled. Of course my dear, he said. It's going to be formal so don't worry about dressing up, said Naruto. The weather goddess smiles. I will be ready then, she said. Naruto walks out. You know you're going to have to tell her Namikaze-san, said Logan as he is seen standing outside the door. That is what this dinner is for, Logan, I plan on revealing most if not all my history, said Naruto. I wish you wish luck, you need someone in your life, said the Canadian. Naruto nods his head. Thanks, he responded. Naruto was walking up to his room after the dinner. I guess it went better than expected, he thought. Flashback. Naruto and Aurora were eating. Naruto, is something troubling you? She asked as she notices he is eating very slowly. Aurora, I want to tell you about my past that you were asking me when you were little, he said. Why? She asked. I care for you, and I think there should be no secrets between us, he said. Aurora raises an eyebrow. I am immortal, but I want to tell you a story based off that, he said. It started 3,000 years ago in the Hidden Leaf village, where a nine-tailed demon attack, he started. The leader of the village could not kill it, so he did the next best thing, he sealed it into a newborn. The leader wanted the baby to be viewed as a hero, but that did not go according to plan, for the boy was hated and had more assassination attempts on his life than a hated politician. Aurora's eyes widened. What happened next? She asked. Age 12, the boy took the Genin graduation exam and failed, but one of the instructors tricked the boy into stealing the forbidden scroll from the Kage library, but the boy and one of the non-biased instructor named Iruka stopped him, and the boy was able to perform a beacon jutsu, therefore passing him. That boy was me. We then got our team assignment. I was paired up with Sasuke Uchiha and Sakura Haruno, and the leader Kakashi Hatake. The team leader test was to take one of two bells, and the one who didn't failed. We all failed because we went at it alone and we did not work as a team. We passed another test which was to show teamwork, which we did, and we were official team 7. We did D-rank mission, mostly housework and domestic chores from client. I still remember that damn capture Tora the cat mission, the bane of all ninja. I swear we WER4E assigned that mission at least 50 times. We got our first C-rank mission to protect a client from bandits while he built a bridge to connect his home. However, we were attacked by not bandits, but C-rank rogue ninjas, which mean the client lied to us. His land was oppressed by a tycoon who used strong arm tactic, to put it very lightly. I was poisoned, but I was fine after I bleed out the blood with a kunai. We were attacked again by an A-rank ninja named Zabuza Mamachi, the demon of the hidden mist. He was able to capture Kakashi-sensei in a water prison, but Sasuke and myself, we were able to free him, and he beat the ninja. Before he could finish Zabuza, the mist ninja was struck by 3 senbons in the neck by a hunter ninja. We found out that the ninja was an accomplice to Zabuza by the method used to kill him, and we prepared to fight both in a week. The site on the battle was to be soon named the Great Naruto Bridge, which was quite surprising, but we are getting off track. We won after the hunter nin was run through protecting his master and Zabuza and a rag of the betrayal of his client and the loss of one he considered a son. He charged the tycoon responsible and killed him. Zabuza died from his injury he sustained both from fighting my sensei and receiving multiple injuries from the charge. We came back to the village after the bridge was completed and we were signed up for the Chunin graduation exam, which was a test of 3 types. We passed the first, but in the second were attacked by a dangerous shinobi named Orochimaru. He defeated me and placed a curse seal on Sasuke's neck, so he will be a slave to the Sanin's power. Sasuke is what you would call an avenger because his brother murdered his whole clan in one night. Aurora gasped in shock. We passed the second test and we fought in an elimination battle to get to the finals. Sasuke and I both won our battles, but Sakura tied with her opponent, so they both were disqualified. We had a month to train for the finals. I trained under Orochimaru teammate who was loyal to the Leaf. He was much stronger than both his teammates due to his skill in Sage mode. But that is still a debate in my opinion. He taught me summoning and how to use some of the demon's chakra. Somehow I beat my opponent in the exams named Niji Hyuga, the genius of the Hyuga clan. During the last fight of the exams, Orochimaru men attack us with our allies of the sand turning on us. We won and I spared off against another demon container who had the bloodlust to rival anyone. The sand became our allies after they found out their leader was killed by Orochimaru. The cost was too great and we lost our leader Hiruzen Sarutobi by using a forbidden move to seal Orochimaru arms so he can't use jutsus anymore, which was a fitting punishment to a man who wanted to learn all jutsus. I was given a mission to find the next leader named Tsunade Master Medic and the third Sannin. I went with Jiraiya Sensei who taught the summoning jutsu during the break. Tsunade lost all her loved ones in the leaf due to the wars and she left the village swearing to never come back due to bad memories. We found her in a gambling town since she was an addicted gambler with the worst luck. She was drunk and she refused to come back and after she insulted the position I respected and hoped to achieve. I challenged her to a fight you can consider a totally one-side fight. I was humiliated by one finger as she used her strength to keep me grounded and have my Rasengan send me back. I swore I would master the jutsu and Tsunade being the addicted gambler offered to come and become the Hokage if I succeeded and she would throw in her necklace. I finished it by using a clone and tested it in a real battle against another medic who worked for Orochimaru, who Tsunade to heal his arms. The odd thing is she had a hemophobia or the fear of blood that she got during the second Shinobi War. I attacked the medic named Kabuto who was a Jounin level ninja, but he underestimated me and suffered with a Rasengan to the gut for it. But he was able to sever my heart vein with a chakra scalpel. First time I was close to death, but Tsunade saved me after she got rid of her fear and the two loyal Sannin their treacherous teammate in a fight with Orochimaru fleeing in the end. We returned to the village, but I sent out to bring back Sasuke, who left to gain power from Orochimaru about a few weeks later. The ninja accompanying us were Niji Hyuga, Kiba Inuzuka, Choji Akimichi and Shikamaru Nara. Each member faced off against Orochimaru guards called the Sound Four. Niji and Choji were in critical condition in order to defeat the ninja. Kiba was injured and had blood loss, and Shikamaru had a self-inflicted broken finger to escape a gain jutsu. Another ninja showed up who had Evan's ability to manipulate the bone in one body, and he was much more experienced with it. A friend of mine named Rock Lee faced him so I can confront my friend Sasuke. Lee was almost killed but saved the demon container I faced in the invasion. His mastery of sand helped him greatly, and he would have lost it. The sound ninja was healthy because he died right before he can pierce my friend Gaara's sand shield. I face my former friend ironically at the Valley of the End, where the two founder of the village fought with one of them being an Uchiha. I looked back thought the symbolism of the sight after about 10 years later. I lost that battle because I held back not wanting to kill him. He hit me an inch from my heart with an assassination attack that Hatake sensei taught him for the exams. I was in critical condition and it took me about a week to recover with my whole body bandaged up. I was then released and went on a training trip with my sensei Jiraiya to keep those who wanted the beast within me hesitant to fight us. The Akatsuki were a team of S-rank rogue ninja who could Sennin and can hold out if not win after a fight. One of the members was Itachi Uchiha, Sasuke's brother. 3 years we trained and when we came back I was given with the 2 remaining member of Team 7. Gaara the Kazekage of the Sand was captured by the Akatsuki for his demon. We went to the sand and meet with our allies. With the elder Chiyo with us we confronted the 2 members named Sasori of the Red Sand and Deidara the Mad Bomber. We won with Sakura defeating Sasori with Chiyo's help and I in a rage beat the shit out of Deidara with Kakashi's help. Later we lost good men against the Akatsuki. One was a man named Asuma Sarutobi, the son of our former leader by the ones called the Immortal Duo. Haiden and Kakazu were strong with terrifying abilities. Haiden was the perfect immortal and would stay alive even after head cut off. He can stab himself in a vital, and if he has your blood on his weapon when he does his ritual you're dead. Kakazu was the oldest ninja at that time and faced down the first Hokage, but lost. He is able to transfer a live heart from opposing shinobi and replace those that have stopped. He has 5 heart, so we had to kill him 5 and he had mastery of an element for each heart. Shikamaru defeated Haiden blowing him apart and burying him alive and I myself destroyed Kakazu's last 3 hearts after he fought my sensei and lost 2 from the fight. I used an element Rasengan called the Rasen Shuriken. We were considered heroes and we were sent to capture Itachi Uchiha and we fought a unique Akatsuki member named Tobi who was able to become intangible as our attack passed through. We later learned that Sasuke killed his brother but was recruited by the real mastermind Tobi who was really Madara Uchiha, the founder of the Uchiha and co-founder of the Leaf. I myself lost a sensei to another Akatsuki named Pain. He killed Jiraiya in battle, but from what I heard was that he was able to kill 3 of Pain's bodies but was overwhelmed, tired and he lost 1 hand. He died from his throat being crushed by his former student Pain, who was trained by my sensei. I was sad and angry, but I learned another style of fighting called Senjutsu or Sage Art. While I was mastering this art with the toads, Pain attacked the leaf to find out where I was. Many ninjas died in that attack, and 1 man destroyed the leaf with a powerful jutsu. Pain was ready to attack the Hokage Tsunade, the last living Sannin since Orochimaru was killed by Sasuke. I stopped the attack when I was summoned and told everyone not to help me in this battle. The battle was difficult because of the experience gap between us. During the battle I went 8-tail but was saved from damnation by the father, the man who sealed the beast within me, Minato Namikaze. I won and found the person controlling that battle and went for a chat. The man named Nagato was very skilled due to an ambush during Third War. I was pissed, but I calmed down, hurt his side and speared him after his story. Using the last bit of strength he revived those he killed in the invasion except my sensei, because he was in the bottom of the lake. We were told that the Raikage's brother was captured by my former teammate Sasuke, since he held the 8 tails. The Lighting Shadow called a meeting of the 5 Kage, which has not been done since the formation of the ninja villages. Madara appeared during the meet after a fight with Sasuke versus the Kages. He then declared the start of the 4th Shinobi World War against the 5 Great Nation. Now Madara new ally Kabuto resurrected former ninja with a forbidden jutsu called resurrection from an impure world. Now let's go the finally showdown. My friend Sasuke was killed by Madara while taking blow for me at the Valley of the End, and in rage, I chased Madara to the Alliance headquarters. He killed the leader of the Alliance, and many ninja died against him. I finally fought him with both of tired and at our limit. In order to beat him I was going to sacrifice my soul by using the Reaper Death Seal to seal both our soul in the Shinigami. The QB who I befriended during the war stood up to the death god and offered to give his soul to spare me. The god instead took 5 tails worth of power of the QB and gave me the rest in immortality. I can only die by getting my head cut off. I am the oldest person alive and I never age. I have been looking for ways to lose my immortality so I can grow old with anyone I might marry. I am such a coward because I want to lose life by old age, but I can't watch as anyone I get close to die before I even grow a gray hair, he said crying. Aurora gets next to him and kisses him. You are not a coward, you are the bravest man I know, for you went through, thank you for trusting me Naruto. My feeling for you have not changed at all, I love you my handsome savior, she said. Naruto smiles with a tear coming down his face. Thank you my weather goddess, he said. Then flashback. Naruto went past Charles. Thanks for the advice professor. I am glad it went well Naruto, he said. Naruto head to his and Aurora's room. Why is there one bed? He asked seeing that there is a bed missing. I think we should sleep in the same bed if you want, Aurora exclaimed seeing his confusion. Naruto smiles softly. Why not, he thought as he got next to Aurora in bed and both fell asleep. Flashback. A mind battle. Naruto woke up with Aurora snuggled next to him and her arm around his body. Aurora, I got to get up, whispered Naruto in her ear. A few more minutes with my teddy bear, she mumbled. Naruto smirked. I hope she doesn't kill me, thought the blonde as he pinches her rear end causing a yelp, a glare, then a slap on the face by the dark-skinned X-Men. That could have been worse, thought Naruto. You could have gotten me up another way Naruto, she said with a pout. Naruto smirks. Really, he whispered in her ear making her shiver. He kisses her on the lips making her moan. Naruto pulls away. Better? He asked. Aurora smirks. If I say yes do I get seconds? She asked flirtatious. Naruto smiles. Maybe later, I have to go to work love, he said as he kisses her on the lips really quick and goes downstairs. Aurora smiles. I found the perfect guy, let's see where it goes, she thought. Aurora gets downstairs and sees Naruto playing cards with Logan. I win Logan, you know what that means, Naruto said. Logan takes out his motorcycle keys and gives it to Naruto. It better not have a scratch on it bub, he growled. I promise not to have too many scratches on it, said Naruto with an evil smirk. I hate you right now, said the rough-looking man. Naruto gives him the middle finger. By Aurora, by log in. Logan just growls. Damn his nicknames, he said. As he rushes out the door, Aurora turns to Logan with an amused look on her face. You did not just gamble against a person with the devil's luck? She asked. Logan grumbled and started to read the paper. I swear that guy more luck than a professional poker player, said the Canadian. Aurora just shrugged. Hope learned your lesson. Log in, she said with a semi-evil smile. He turns around. Not you too, you have been corrupted as well, growled Logan. Naruto was rolling down the street on Logan's cycle. I have a feeling that something bad is going to happen, he thought. He got to Bayville High and got ready for class. Alright, can anyone tell me the pros and cons of wearing weights? Asked Naruto. Scott raised his hand. Yes Mr. Summers, said Naruto. The con is it will slow you down greatly, he said. Naruto smiled. Very good, does anyone know an advantage? Asked the blonde. Evan raised his hand. Mr. Daniels, go ahead, said Naruto. If you train hard enough your speed will increase after a while, but will be better to drop your weights, he said. Naruto claps. Very good, those were the main two, he said. Each students will be wearing 10 pound on the legs and 5 pound on the arm. You will then do some conditioning, said Naruto. Kitty raised her hand. Are you wearing weights Mr. Namikaze? She asked. Naruto sat down and pulled up his pant cuffs. I have 200 pounds together on my leg and arms. That is about 50 pound each, he said. Everyone's mouth was wide open with shock, except the X-Men. That is not normal, said Duncan. I train constantly without slacking off, and I have been doing it since I was 12, said Naruto. The students put their weights on and follow Naruto outside. How do you all feel? Asked Naruto. The mutants and jocks are having little to no trouble, while everyone else is struggling to walk. I want everyone to run steady 5 laps no breaks, said Naruto. The students start to jog around the field while Naruto watches them. After they finished 5 laps, he had them do 30 push-up and 20 sit-ups. Well done class, hit the showers, said Naruto. Naruto gets back to the mansion and sees Logan drinking beer. Hey log in, no scratches, said the blonde as he throws the keys to Logan. Naruto walks in and goes to the study. Xavier, get the student ready for training, they are to meet me in the woods outside, said Naruto. Understood, said the professor. Naruto heads to the forest in the back of the mansion and grabs a scroll and unseals kunais. The students of the institute see Naruto. They're alright. I am going to show you how to bring out a combination of spirit and physical energy called chakra. If you succeed you might learn how to control your power or improve upon it, said Naruto. Mr. Namikaze, how do we bring this energy out? Asked Evans. Naruto sat down cross-legged. Simple meditation and find it inside you, then form this hand seal and bring it out, he said. The student did as asked and all of them brought out their chakra within a span of 1 hour to 2. Very good, next is control exercise, he said. The point is to 1. Minimize the usage of your energy and to increase it, he said. How do we do that? Asked Kurt. Naruto smiled. You climb trees with just your feet, he said as the X-Men look at him like he is crazy. Let me demonstrate, said Naruto as he focuses chakra in his feet and started walking up the tree. First you focus chakra in your feet and climb, use the kunai to mark your progress and try to beat it, he said. The young mutants started their exercise with Naruto watching their attempts. After about an hour Naruto stood up. You guys can stop and get ready for dinner, he said. The X-Men trainees were tired and hungry and they all went in. Naruto was in the kitchen helping Aurora with a meal. They all sat down and ate their dinner. At the end of the week Naruto got the X-Men up to speed with their power and chakra control. Naruto has gotten closer to Aurora and the two can be seen making out to the discomfort of the students and amusement of the teacher of the institute. On Monday the students went on a trip New York City while Naruto was in a mountain range in New York practicing his abilities. The mansion was attacked by some kind of warrior who manages to beat both Logan and Storm. He went upstairs and found a scroll in the dresser and he disappeared in puff of smoke. Naruto shot open. Someone activated the seal around that scroll, he thought. He got in his car and drove back to the mansion, which took about 2 hours. He got there and saw that Logan was in bad shape and Aurora had several cuts. What happened? Naruto asked. Aurora stood up from her chair. Some kind of warrior infiltrated the mansion and took something from our room, she said. Logan and I fought him, but he beat us, she said, ashamed of the result. Naruto sighed. It's alright Aurora, let me heal Logan so we get back what they took. Naruto got to where Logan was and healed his more severe injuries. You alright Logan? Asked Naruto. Logan got out of the medical bed. Yay, can't believe I got beaten, he growled. Naruto went upstairs. I see, so he took that scroll, he thought. Naruto and the other two took off in the jet while Naruto was sensing the locator seal on the scroll. Using it he was able to pinpoint the scroll location, which appeared to be in Egypt. They land the jet outside the Valley of the Kings and the 3 instructors walk out and head to the scroll's location. They get to a temple that was dedicated to Anubis, the god of the underworld. Naruto hold his hand up. Hold on, he said as he forms a clone and has it enter the temple. It gets destroyed when it gets to a circular room. Interesting, there were no traps, said Naruto. The 3 head inside and get to the room. In the room is a throne with a man in his 60s with a beard and a young man on the ground dead. Welcome X-Men, said the man. He looks at 3 separately. Who should be my target? Asked the man. The 3 instructors get in fighting position as a shadow shoot out of the man and hit Aurora. Aurora eyes turn black. Ha, said a dark voice. I now have the weather goddess under my control, said the evil voice. Naruto growls. Release her now Shadow King, he demanded. The possessed Aurora laughs. Like that is going to work, said the possessed Aurora. Logan, can you handle Aurora while I try to seal the Shadow King, said Naruto. How long do you need? Asked the Canadian. Naruto took out a scroll. 20 minutes to get the scroll ready, he said. I'll give you your 20 minutes, said Logan. Aurora charges Logan and kicks him, sending him back as Naruto starts to ride in the scroll. The possessed Aurora sees Naruto riding in a scroll and she charges him. And Naruto backflip just in time to avoid a punch, but wind blast is sent at Naruto and his scroll is blow out of his hand and into some kind of pit. Naruto growls. Crap, he thought. He takes out some paper with kanji writing. That leaves only one choice, he thought to himself. Naruto charges his lover with amazing speed and placed 2 tag on her arms and 2 on the legs. Paralyze, he shouted. Aurora freezes as spark is seen around her. You wouldn't dare hurt your girlfriend, said the possessed Aurora. You're half right, I plan on fighting you in her mind, said Naruto. He goes through some hand seal ninja art mind invasion jutsu, he shouted as his and Aurora body is surrounded in a black orb. The hell, said Logan as he rubs his head. He tries to reach in, but his arm passes through. Is this a psychic ability, he thought. His buzzer goes off. Logan, do you copy, said Professor in the communicator. Oh head Chuck, he said. Logan, I am getting a powerful reading in Egypt, but something is blocking my telepathy even with Cerebro. What is happening, asked Charles. Naruto said something about the Shadow King, I think he took over Ro's mind, and Naruto has now entered her mind to fight him, said Logan. In Aurora's mind. Naruto was walking in what appeared to be a desert. Interesting mindscape, he thought. He continues to walk, but the sand shift behind him and a giant scorpion is seen. You got to be shitting me, he thought as he dodges the tail and throws some kunai at the animal, making it bleed in the tail. Naruto takes out 2 more kunais and infused wind chakra and throws one at the tail, cutting it halfway due to the size difference. Naruto charges forward as he dodges the pincher and throws it at the head, impaling the creature. The creature falls down and turns to sand. Looks like the Shadow King can summon creatures based of the landscape, thought Naruto as he sees a town with what looks like a fortress made of sand in the horizon. He walks to it, but he is attacked by one of the tailed beasts. Damn Shukaku, so he is using Aurora memories of her own life for the stories I told her, he thought. Naruto goes through some hand seal fire style. Fire dragon flame bombs, he thought as he fires a stream of hot fire at the demon, hoping to beat it, but only the bottom of the sand turns hard, but it became moist again. Naruto dodges the sand that shoot out of him. I don't get it, he has sand around him, but he is not using it. Instead he using his supply, thought Naruto. Naruto eyes widen. Of course he doesn't the full extent of the demon's power, because I only talked about Gaara and little about the demon. He picked the wrong opponent for me based on size. Simple. He or really Aurora doesn't have the knowledge, thought Naruto. I got a way to beat it, let's see if my plan work, thought Naruto. He forms a clone, and they both go through hand seal fire style, lighting style. Shocking fire bullet. Shouted Naruto as he and the clone attack with electrical fire bullet out of the mouth, hitting the demon dead center, shocking it because of its earth affinity, and turning the sand to glass because the wind affinity increases the firepower of the flames. Naruto then forms a Rasengan and slams it into the glass demon, breaking into glass shard glade. The gamble worked. I was worried about the wind trumping the light, but hitting it with both elements negated the elements to counter, he thought. Naruto gets to the town as it transforms into Bayville all of a sudden, and the fortress turns into the mansion. Man, talk about irony and fighting in a school for the gifted in a mindscape, he thought. He gets to the mansion and goes upstairs. Let's see, there are only 3 places he can be with Aurora. First is our room, he thought as he get to his room and sees a blue-skinned woman smirking, so that is Mystique that Aurora must have fought. The woman charges Naruto with a punch, but he sidesteps it and chops her on the neck, knocking her out, and she fades away too easy, he thought. The next one is the danger room, he thought as he heads there. He gets the metallic room turns into the hidden leaf, making Naruto raise an eyebrow. Really, be more creative, he said annoyed. 2 form raise out of the ground and takes shape into the first and second Hokage. Looks like she read my book, now I regret putting so much detail in it, thought Naruto as he dodges a water dragon. Naruto goes through some seals, and an earth spike pierces the second. Too bad he is weak to earth jutsu, said Naruto. He turns his head to the first. He will be difficult to fight because of his sub-element of wood, thought Naruto. Naruto gets into stances. I think these images of the enemy can die from hitting a vital from what I can tell, he thought. He saw Hashirama going through seal wood style. Wood golem, he shouted as he slams his hands onto the ground. A giant golem made of wood appears. Naruto gets out a scroll and summons Obito's sword head cleaver. Good thing I found this after the war and it allows me to use it, he thought. He cuts down the golem with one swipe and stabs the first in the heart, making him fade away. Naruto head back out and heads to one more flight of stair. The greenhouse, Aurora's pride and joy, thought Naruto. He gets there and see the Shadow King sitting in a chair, but the room morphs to a throne room. Man, your ego is huge, said Naruto as the shadowed warrior stand from the throne. Naruto see Aurora tied up in chains on one of the pillar. Cliché, but I guess that what a lot bad guy have problems with, said Naruto with a smirk. Maybe so Namikaze, but there is another cliché called using the powers of the mind of the one I took over, said the Shadow King. Well crap, said Naruto as he dodges a wind blast. Naruto sees his lover tied and runs to her, only to be sent back by wind. Shoot, this is not good. I can't hold back against him, he is amplify his stolen abilities, thought Naruto. Naruto puts his hand together. Gravity weight release, said Naruto as blue energy lights up on his ankles and arms then fades. Naruto vanishes in speed and reappears in front of the Shadow King, uppercutting him in the air. He hears Aurora crying out in pain, so she is connected to this punk by the chains. If he is hurt, she is hurt, thought Naruto with a growl. Naruto forms a hand seal *AND, 3 clones appear from the grounder of clones, said the Shadow King. The clones go in and engage him in a fight. The clones continue to harass the Shadow King as Naruto vanishes and reappears in front of Aurora and slashes the chains on her left arm and left leg. He then cuts the right arm and leg, freeing her. The Shadow King smiles. "Well, I still have her power," he said as a lightning bolt shoots down, forcing Naruto to throw Aurora to the side as it hits him dead on, causing him grunt in pain. "Damn," he thought as he struggles to stay on his feet. Naruto gets his to form a hand seal in a ram. "You missed one," he said with a labored breath due to the pain as an earth clone jumps on the Shadow King and explodes, making him lose his concentration and ending the lightning bolt that hit Naruto. Naruto falls on his hand and knees. "Damn, that hurt like a bitch," he growled. The Shadow King walk out with cuts and burns on his body. "You will pay, Namikaze," he said. Naruto get back on his feet as his eyesight gets blurry as he gets in a defensive stance. "I need Aurora's help," he thought. The Shadow King charges Naruto and knees him in the gut, sending him back as he coughs up blood. Naruto gets back up and punches the Shadow King in the face, making his head snap back, but he recomposes himself and backhands Naruto in the wall. The Shadow King walks slowly to Naruto. "In this mind I am God, Namikaze," said the villain. Aurora wakes up and sees Naruto in a wall with a shadow-type warrior advancing towards him. "Wind," she shouts as she hit the demon in the back, causing him turn his head. "Now is my chance," thought Naruto as he get hand free and slams a Rasengan in the Shadow King chest, sending him spiraling back. Aurora runs up to a battered Naruto. "Naruto, are you alright?" she asked. Naruto gets up. "Yay, but we have to kill the Shadow King right now," he said. "How?" asked Aurora. "We are in your mind, so I can't deliver the killing blow because I will take control you mind with the technique I used. You have to finish, but I have weakened for you and I will chain him up using the Uzumaki ability known as chakra chains," said Naruto. Naruto goes through some seals and chain made of chakra shoot out of the ground and wraps around the Shadow King, ensnaring him. "No," he shouted as he struggles. "Hurry, take him out, I am running out of chakra," shouted Naruto. Aurora nods her head and point a finger in the "let's see how you like being electrocuted," she said as his eyes glow. What in 5 bolts of lighting hit the Shadow King, vaporizing him in the mind. Naruto falls down. "Should I will meet you on the outside, Aurora," he said as he fades away. Outside world. The black orb dissipate and the 2 bodies fall down. "Is it over?" asked Logan to himself as he cautiously walks over to Naruto, who starts to open his eyes. "Looks like we beat him," said Naruto as he turns his head and sees Aurora. She opens her eyes and turns her head and smiles. "Thank goodness you're alright," she said. After the 2 recover, they head out of the temple and get to the jet and fly off after incinerating the 2 dead bodies. Flashback. The news and the Juggernaut. It has been a few months since the Shadow King destruction. Naruto was standing in front of the class at Bayville High. "Everyone starts your conditioning," said Naruto with a clap. The students start to do their push-up and sit-ups with weights on. Naruto gets back to the mansion and sees Aurora in their room. "Hi Aurora," he said. The weather goddess looks up. "Naruto, I just did pregnancy test due to begin sick all the time," she said. Naruto eye shot open. "And the result?" he asked. "I'm pregnant," she said. Naruto picks her up and twirls her. "I am going to be a father," he said with a smile on his face. He puts her on the ground and hugs her. "This is a happy day," he said. Aurora smiles. "Yes, just like when you proposed to me last week," she said. Flashback. Naruto was at a fancy restaurant with Aurora when the waiter walks up and hands then both menus that were very thick like a hardback book. Aurora opens it up and sees a jewelry box with the words "Will you marry me" engraved on it. She looks up and sees Naruto smiling. "Yes, I would be honored," she said as a tear comes down her face. "You made me a happy man, Aurora," said Naruto. Then flashback. Naruto kissed the dark-skinned goddess on the lips. "We will have to break it to the others about the engagement," said Naruto. Aurora nods her head. "How about at dinner?" she said. Naruto nodded. "That will work," he said. At dinner, Naruto sat next to Aurora with Charles at the head. Logan sat on the other side of Charles. After dinner, Naruto and Aurora got up. "Me and Naruto have an announcement to make," said Aurora. "Naruto asked me to marry him last week and I accepted," she said as she shows her ring with a diamond on her finger. Everyone stopped what they were doing and silence reigned for a few seconds. "So Naruto is going to be my uncle, right, Auntie Ro?" said Evans. Aurora nods her head. "Yes Evans, he will be part of our family," she said. The teen smiles. "Awesome," he said. "Oh, and I am pregnant," she said as everyone stops what they're doing, including. They all look at Naruto. Naruto looks around. "What?" To answer the next question. "It's mine," he said before looking at Aurora. "It is mine, right Aurora," he said with humor. Aurora beat an eyebrow. "I don't know, it could be anyone in this room," she said with a smirk. Naruto was congratulated by the students and was threatened by Logan about if he hurts her. Naruto and Aurora went to their room and fell asleep. Next morning was Saturday, and Naruto had his student in mansion start on kunai balancing, while he pulled Rogue and Scott to the side and had them follow him. He formed a shadow clone to help the others. They get to a clearing. I promised Charles that I will try to find a method to controlling your powers, said Naruto. You mean I might be able to touch a person without the coverings? Asked the Gothic X-Men. Maybe. I am not 100% sure, but there is a chance to control both you powers, he said. Now Scott, I want you to shut off the chakra in your eyes, Naruto told him. Scott did as told. Now turn away from us and take off your glasses, said Naruto. Scott turned around to the empty field and slowly took off his glasses. I don't believe it, I can see without my glasses, he said. Naruto smiled. Good, I am glad that I showed you the chakra control exercise, he said. Naruto turns to Rogue. I think what you have to do is shut off your chakra flow, as if you're negating a gain jutsu, and then learn to control it on a whim, he said. Rogue, stop the flow now, take off your glove. Touch my hand, said Naruto. Rogue hesitates for a moment but touches his hand without a glove, and nothing happens. I don't believe it, I touched bare skin, she said with tears coming out of her eyes. Naruto smiled as she hugged him. Thank you, she said. Naruto looked at the two. Now practice controlling your gifts, he said. The two nod their heads and went to practice their abilities. Naruto then went to Jin. The first need you do a test of medical ninjutsu that I showed you a month ago. If you succeed I will teach you more, he said as the two walked to a table with a dying fish. You must heal it, said Naruto. Yes, Mr. Namikaze, she said. Jin gets to the fish and performs the medical ninjutsu, and after finally about 10 minutes the fish starts to flop. Naruto smiles. Well done, he said. Jin jumps up in excitement as Naruto checks on everyone's progress. In a maximum security prison, a man with a security uniform walks up to a room with a steroid-using man with brown armor. The man smirks and uses a key card and enter. The security guard starts to morph into a blue-skinned woman. So this is Kane Marco, also known as the Juggernaut, said the blue woman. She releases the binds as the Kane looks up. What do you want? He asked. I need your strength to take out the X-Men, said Mystique. I am ready, I have a score to settle with my dear brother Charles Xavier, said the man as the two mutants escape. Sunday, Naruto and Aurora were eating breakfast when Logan came down. So Aurora, what should the name be for our child? Asked Naruto. Female, it should be Kagura for the first hand, Osiris for middle, and male I think you should pick, she said. I was thinking of Minato for a first name and David for middle, said Naruto. Aurora looks at him. The first is your father, and middle is my father's, she said. I got one, Logan Jr., said the Canadian with a smirk. Aurora and Naruto shuddered. I think someone just killed a puppy, said Naruto with another shudder. After waiting, the students of the institute come trickling down. Morning, I have decided to give you a free day, said Naruto. Logan, Aurora and Naruto, I sent someone on the ground, said the professor through his telepathy. Naruto closes his eyes. Holy crap, his chakra capacity is almost as big as mine, said Naruto. The Juggernaut breaks the door and sees all the X-Men in uniform. Where is my dear brother? He demanded. Naruto smirks. Good morning, good sir, how are you this day, he said in a fake as British accent. Enough of these games. Where is he? Asked Kane. Naruto steps up. He's around the earth somewhere. If you want to find him you must get past me first, said Naruto with narrowed eyes. Naruto gets in a strong fist stance as the Juggernaut charges. Naruto jumps over the armored mutant and lands behind him. Come on, I haven't seen anything I would be scared of, he said. Juggernaut rows a punch, but is blocked by Naruto's hand that is infused with chakra. Naruto jumps back then runs forward. Leaf whirlwind, said Naruto as he kicks the mutant, sending him stumbling back but no visible damage. Naruto whistles. I got say, you know how to take a hit, he said. The Juggernaut charges again, but Naruto jumps on over him again. Naruto charges chakra in his fist and punches the mutant, sending him to the backyard, destroying 4 doors and 2 tables and 1 TV set in the process. Naruto strolls to the downed mutant and punches him on the ground, making a giant crater on the ground and leaving him battered, bruised and bleeding from the punches. Naruto and Logan place him in a fortified cell and wait for Shield to pick him up. Naruto yawned. I thought he would be a challenge, but I was too fast for him to catch me, said the immortal. Naruto chuckled. I will pay for the damages, he said before he gets slapped by Aurora. What is it with you and causing collateral damage everywhere, she said with a stern expression. You better fix this or you're not getting any tonight, said the weather goddess. Yes ma'am, said Naruto with his head down. Logan smirks. Whipped, he said through a cough. Hey, at least I got laid recently, he said. Evans comes up. Oh burn, he said before running off to save his ass from Logan Wraith. Logan walks away grumbling about horny people, and Aurora and Naruto laugh as Naruto forms some clones and cleans up the mess. Flashback. The Ancient Evil and Alliance. In Egypt, Valley of the King was a pyramid. A cloaked man walked to the building and started to chant. A door opened up and the man entered. My lord, I have found the artifact to release you, he said. "But Ahmad, this tomb is unbearable," said a deep voice. "As you wish, my lord, I shall gather the horsemen," he said. The voice chuckled. "Soon I shall have my vengeance on the one who imprisoned me," said ominous voice. Naruto was watching TV when an alert came up. In recent new two museums have been broken into with an artifact taken from them, said the reporter. "I wonder what the item is," he thought. The story changed, and it showed Magneto in Egypt attacking a pyramid. "That fool going to get killed," thought Naruto after he took a look at the building. It was over in an instant as Magneto was killed, causing Naruto's eyes to widen. "If he gets released, there is nothing that can stop him," thought Naruto. Flashback. Naruto was bleeding on the ground as a blue mechanical mutant toured over the landscape. "It is over, human, you can't beat me," said the mutant. "QB, give all the chakra you can spare to me, we have to finish this battle," shouted Naruto as his body glows red and 5 tails appear. 5 Egyptian warriors drag a coffin to the battle. "He goes through hand sealing jutsu sarcophagus prison," shouted Naruto as beams of light grab onto the mutant and drags him into it. Naruto falls down and blacks out. Then flashback. A week later, the professor and Aurora went to Egypt but told Naruto not to come and told him to get ready just in case. Naruto complied with reservation as the two left for the Valley of the Kings. A few days later, Naruto was meditating when he heard a knock on the door. He opens and sees the Brotherhood standing there. "Why are you here?" asked Naruto. Lance walked in. "Mr. Namikaze, have you seen the news recently?" asked Lance. Naruto nods his head. "Yay, a few weeks ago when Magneto was supposedly killed," said the ninja. Pietro looked at his teacher. "What do you mean supposedly?" asked Quicksilver. Naruto sighed. "You might as well come in for now, but I will keep you under surveillance, understood?" asked Naruto, leaving a hanging threat. Logan came down and was ready to charge the Brotherhood when Naruto put his hand up. "Stop, Logan, they won't do anything," said Naruto. Logan put his retractable claws away. "Why are they here?" he asked. "Gather the others, I think we are heading for a war," said Naruto. Logan sees the seriousness in his eyes. "I hope you're wrong, Namikaze," he said. Naruto sighed. "I do too," he thought. Everyone was sitting in the living room. "Alright, I think Magneto is being controlled along with Strom and Charles," said Naruto. Scott, who ditched his glasses due to mastery of his power, raises his hand. "How can something take over an Omega-level mutant, let alone 3? asked the Scott. Naruto sighed. "The one capable is the only thing that has gotten closest to killing me 1500 years ago," said the ninja. The teens gasp when a brown-haired teen in a red cloak raises her hand. "Go ahead, Wanda," said Naruto. "So in a scale, how would you rate this enemy?" she asked. "I would place Magneto, Charles and Aurora as S-class of my shinobi placement rank, which is technically the highest for someone to get. However, there is one rank that is greater and only a few can get up to it," said Naruto. "What is this rank, Naruto?" asked Logan. Naruto closes his eyes. "SS rank, and only 4 have attended it," he said. "One was my father for taking out a division of ninja in an instant, the other 3 are Madara Uchiha, who I killed in battle. Hashirama Senju, the founder of my former village, and finally the 3rd Hokage Hiruzen Sarutobi in his prime," said Naruto. "What would you place yourself as?" asked Spike. "To be honest, low SS, high S, just because of my experience. The enemy we would be fight would be high SS," said Naruto. "The X-Men and Brotherhood eyes widen. The mutant is named Apocalypse," said Naruto. "Wait, how are only low SS if you beat this mutant?" asked Jean. Naruto put his face in his hands. "I used a sealing jutsu because I could not beat him outright, but the jutsu requires at least 4 souls as tribute," said the ninja. "I would have fought to the bitter end if some of the pharaoh's own soldiers hadn't asked to be the tribute. I sacrificed 4 of those men, but it seems it was in vain," he said. The X-Men eyes widened. "So how can we stop this mutant?" asked Spike. "I don't know," said Naruto. "Well, we have to stop him," said Logan. Naruto eyes closed. "That is the only thing we can do," he said with a sigh. Naruto looks at the TV as a reporter is in Egypt. "There seems to be about 3 new buildings in Egypt, each guarded by a different mutant," said the man as the 3 powerful mutant appear on the TV. Naruto gets up. "We have to go now, suit up," said the ninja. After everyone suits up, the Blackbird takes off to Egypt. Naruto turns to the team of Brotherhood and X-Men and tells them the plan. The Blackbird lands near the 3 pyramids and the 4 team head to different direction. Team 1 consisting of Spike, Shadow Cat and Lance head toward the eastern pyramid. They get there and see Aurora in the sky with blue markings all over her body. Her eyes glow wide as she creates a storm and shoots lightning down, causing them to scatter. Lance uses his manipulation of Earth to erect a wall to protect them. Team 2 consisting of Wanda, Pietro, and Toad and Rogue get to the Western Temple but are attacked by Magneto. The Magnet user brings up some arms of the Sentinels that he used to attack earlier and uses them against the 4 mutants. Team 3 with Scott, Jean, Fred head to the Northern Temple and are attacked by Xavier. Xavier uses his superior physic abilities, he makes them see their worst fears. The final team consisting of Kurt and Logan and Naruto infiltrate the main temple. The three head in only to be confronted by Mystique. Naruto shouts out Logan, "Keep her busy, I will handle Apocalypse," as he runs past the shapeshifter and into the main hall where he is confronted by a cloaked man. "Welcome enemy of Master Apocalypse to your doom," said the cloaked man. The man gets his sword out and runs at amazing speeds and thrusts the sword at Naruto but is parried by Naruto's kunai and then kicked back. Naruto glares at his opponent. "Who are you?" he asked. The man chuckles. "I am a mod servant of Apocalypse," he said as he charged forward. Naruto blocks with his kunai and backhands a mod. "Not bad, it seems the years have not dulled you combat prowess," said a mod. The mod blows fire. "I am a pyrotechnic mutant, but better than that pathetic mutant Pyro who can only manipulate fire. I can create it," he said. His hands glow with flames and he fires at Naruto, forcing him to dodge. Naruto goes through some hand seal water style. "Water shockwave," he shouts as a wave of water is shot out of his mouth and intercepts the fire, creating steam. Naruto gets his sword out and charges forward, deflecting the fireballs. He cuts down the evil mutant. "You're next, Apocalypse," thought Naruto as he walks to the inner chamber. He sees the said mutant sitting on his sarcophagus. "Welcome Namikaze," said the ancient mutant. The mutant is blue with ruins all along his body. "Let's begin the final showdown," he said as he grows taller than the building, destroying the roof. The Brotherhood and X-Men all look at the giant mutant. "What is that?" asks Spike as he continues to dodge the lighting shot by Aurora. Naruto stands on top of the destroyed pyramid and stares down the evil mutant. He gets a scroll and reveals a blue sword with jagged edges, as well as Zabuza's sword. "Samehada and Head Cleaver," said Naruto. Apocalypse laughs. "Well, this should be interesting. That is 2 of the 7 swords of the mist," he said as he picks up a blade from underneath the ground. He smirks maliciously. "Let's go," he said. Flashback. Ancient battle of the Lost Times. Former allies attack. Naruto stared down his enemy as the hulking figure towers over the landscape, both legendary swords in his hands. As if the bell went off, Naruto leaped at Apocalypse with chakra slashes with Samehada, but is blocked. Naruto turns around on the mammoth's arm and tries to cut off the head, but his sword stops mid-swing. "Damn, so they came," he said as Aurora, Charles, Mystique and Magneto float up to his level. "Kill him," said the evil mutant as Aurora's eyes turn white and calls forth lighting, forcing Naruto to jump to ground level to avoid it. Naruto looks around as the 4 mutants surround him. "This is not going to be easy," he thought as he caught a punch from the shapeshifter and threw her behind him as he dodges a lightning bolt from Storms and blocks a slash from his executioner's blade being controlled by Magneto. Naruto sees visions of his death thanks to Charles, but clears his mind and forces the images to retract. Naruto looks around. "I have to break the control," he thought. He sees the towers in the corners and he smiles. "That's it," he thought. "QB, can you send a message to the others in their minds?" he asked. "On a kid," said the fox. Jean was watching the fight when someone got in her head. "Mrs. Gray, I need you and the others to destroy those tower. That is the way he is controlling our comrades," said Naruto's voice. Jean nods her head. "Understood, Mr. Namikaze," she said. She turns to Scott. "We have to destroy the towers to break them free," she said. Scott got on his headset and relayed the orders, and the Brotherhood and X-Men launched their strongest attack at the tower. Naruto was tired of dodging time. "Show them why I am strong," summoning jutsu. "Gamabento," he shouted. A large toad appeared with a pike on his back. "Can you destroy this tower if I help you?" he asked. "Understood, Naruto," he said. Naruto goes through some hand seals wind style. Massive breakthrough. Fire style toad fire bullet, he shouts as the wind increases the attack of the flames, burning one of the pyramids. "Oh," groaned Mystique. She looks around. "What am I doing here?" she asked. She sees the giant toad. "What is that?" she asks, scared at the animal. Naruto blocks his former blade once more as he fights the 3 remaining Omega-level mutants. Scott was getting pissed. "This tower is not coming down," he thought as a stream of fire is shot as the tower, burning it to ashes. Scott turns around and sees the giant toad. "This tower is neutralized, we better head to the others," it said as it jumps away. Naruto just punches Charles and was fighting Aurora and Magneto at the same time. He was, for the better word, running out of energy. Charles' eyes turns back normal and he fell down. "What am I doing here?" he asked. Spike was firing bone after bone while Lance was using his earth power to weaken the foundation, but the toad appeared and took out another tower. Naruto just knocked Magneto away while Aurora charges in but stops. Her eyes turn normal as she looks around. "Naruto, what is going on?" she asked. Naruto looks at her. "We are fighting a mega mutant named Apocalypse, just another day in my life," he said, joking. Magneto uses his magnetism to continue using Naruto head cleaver against him. Naruto continues to blocks the slash but doesn't see several blasts from the sentinel arm getting ready to fire at him. Until they charge up. Magneto's eyes stop glowing and he releases his hold on the arm and sword. He looks around. "What the hell is going on?" he thought. He sees the other X-Men and his own brotherhood standing tired. "Glad you're all on our side," said Naruto. He turns his head to Aurora. "I want everyone to leave this field, this is my fight," he said. Aurora looks shocked. "I will fight with you, honey," she said. Naruto sighed and disappears. "Forgive me, Aurora, this is one I won't come back from," he thought as he knocked her out with a chop to the back of the neck. "Naruto, why?" she said before passing out. "Magneto, can you take her to the others?" asked the ninja. The former villain nods his head. "You're going to die, aren't you?" he asked somberly. Naruto turns around. "Make sure everyone is safe just in case," said Naruto, not answering the question. Magneto sighed. "Very, you're one the most honorable warrior in this world, I shall do as requested," said the magnet user. Naruto walks to Apocalypse in a steady walk, both giant swords in his hands as the sand blow. "Now let's get the festivities started," said the giant mutant. Flashback. The showdown and the heroes fall. Naruto slowly walks to his enemy, eyes focused and determined. "Today you die, Apocalypse," said Naruto. He jumps up and slashes the giant mutant, but Apocalypse grabs his head cleaver but blindsided by Samahata, tearing a small chunk off the mutant. Naruto lands on the mutant's arm, charges in, but gets slapped by the giant mutant, making him cough blood as he hits the ground. Naruto stands up, blood on his mouth. "Massive shadow clone jutsu," he said as he forms over 1,000 clones. "All the clone form a Rasengan in each of their hands. 2K Rasengan barrage," said Naruto as all his clone charge, but only half make it as Apocalypse destroy 500 clones with energy beams. Apocalypse stumbles back. "Damn, that hurt," he said as he sees Naruto in Sage mode, the fabled Sage mode. "How interesting," he said, a chuckle. Naruto growls and rushes forward and tries to punch the mutant, but Apocalypse catches it and you hear a crack. Naruto is punched across the field. "That hurt like bitch," said the ninja as he gets up. He starts to form a Rasengan, but he adds some wind chakra to it as it screeches and it looks like a shuriken wind style. "Rasen shuriken," he shouts as he throws the attack at the towering menace. Aurora and the other were worried as they saw the battle. "Naruto survive," said the weather goddess. Logan looked at Aurora. "If I know Naruto, he is going to fight and kill this bastard no matter what," he said. "I just hope it doesn't come to the sacrifice," thought Logan. Naruto was breathing hard. His left arm is bleeding and he had a massive cut on his forehead. "Is that it, warrior? I was accepting more of a challenge," said a relatively unharmed Apocalypse. "Punk, his healing surpasses my own," thought Naruto as he struggles to stand. Naruto glares at the evil mutant. Naruto removes his cloak and drops it on the ground, creating a small crater. He removes his leg weights and drops them, making a giant crater. "Now let's see how you handle true speed," said Naruto as he vanishes, punches Apocalypse, sending him back. He then reappears, continues to attack the mutant from every angle. Naruto goes through Hand Seal's fire style. "Fire dragon bullets," he said as he fires a stream of tiny fire bullets out of his mouth, hitting the giant dead center. Naruto stands on the ground as Apocalypse howls from the pain and stumbles back. He has several burns on his body. "No one has hurt me like this before," said Apocalypse. "Let me cool you down, Apocalypse," said Naruto as he fire water bullet at the blue mutant, making him stumble back. Naruto hops back and goes through more hand-size earth style. "Dragon mud bomb," said Naruto as a dragon of mud appears and fire mud balls at Apocalypse. Apocalypse smirks. "Was that it?" he asked. Aurora looked on. "We got to help him," she said, worried for her lover's safety. Charles shakes his head. "This battle is beyond us right now and is too high a level," said Charles. Logan growls. "Damn, I have been put to the sidelines," he thought. Naruto was breathing hard. "I have only one choice, and one of two things will happen. I will lose my immortality or I will die, however it's the only thing that can kill Apocalypse, he though." Naruto widens his stance. "First gate. Gate of opening release," said Naruto. "Second gate. Gate of healing release. Third gate. Gate of life release," said Naruto as his skin turns red. Charles was sweating. "I can sense the power." "What is that?" asked the telepath. Aurora was sweating. "He wouldn't," she said. Logan turns to Aurora. "Aurora, what attack is that?" asked the Canadian. "The forbidden one known as the 8 celestial gates, but he might get strong for the time being, but if he goes to the 8 he will die," she said. Everyone gasps at the news. "Start the Hidden Lotus theme music." The ground beneath Naruto starts to crack. Fourth gate. Gate of pain release. Fifth gate. Gate of limit release. Sixth gate. Gate of view open, said Naruto as the sand swirls around him from the pure power and energy of the attack. Seventh gate. Gate of wonder release, he said as blue sweat comes out of his pores and evaporates from the heat. 8 gates of death, release, said Naruto. Time to show you the final gate, said Naruto. Apocalypse looks shocked. What do you mean there is only 8 gates, he said. Naruto chuckles. 9th gate. Gate of rebirth. Release, said Naruto as he glows silver almost like a divine being. Naruto disappears with a silver tail of energy like a tail of a comet. Aurora's eyes widen. Look, there is Apocalypse, said Scott as he sees the giant in the sky over 50 feet up from the hit. Where is Naruto? Asked Aurora as everyone looks around. Naruto reappears in front of the airborne mutant as Apocalypse's eyes widen. Let's see you handle this, whispered Naruto as he punches Apocalypse down. He reappears below him and hits him in the air. This attack is unique in that it is the only thing to kill an immortal being, said Naruto. Naruto pulls out Zabuza's blade. Time to die, he said as he cuts Apocalypse in half with a divine-infused executioner's blade. Perish, said Naruto as Apocalypse screams in agony, but is silenced by death. Naruto turns back to normal but falls down from 50 feet, his eyes glazed over, unmoving and unresponsive. The X-Men get there and sees Naruto on the ground as Jean checks over his injuries. Not good, he is in a coma, she said. Aurora falls down and sobs. Damn it, he was going to be a father, she said softly. She punches the ground. Damn, she said as she continuously punches the ground. Charles frowns as Magneto bows his head to the fallen warrior. I don't get it, his body is fine, despite his muscles begin torn greatly, but I don't know why he is in a coma, said Jean. The mood was somber. Let's get him to the mansion, said Charles. The mutants left the devastated battlefield after witnessing a battle that will never be seen again. 3 months. Naruto still has not woken up as Aurora made her visit to the warrior. She now has a big belly as proof that she is pregnant. I just got back from Jean and seems that I have twins, boy and girl. I wish you were with us, my love. Only 5 months left till you're a father, please wake up soon, she said. I promised I wouldn't cry, she said sobbing, but I wish you didn't have to put yourself in a coma, she said. She gets up and touches the glass covering Naruto and walks out with one last look and tears still coming down. On the monitor you see the flat line getting higher, but not enough to show he is awake. 5 months later, Aurora walks in with 2 newborn babies. Hello my love, I would like you to meet your children Minato David and Kaguro Cyrus, please come back to us, she said. She walks out and closes the door. The monitor starts to get higher as Naruto's eyes open. All of a sudden, where am I, he thought. Flashback. Epilogue. Charles was going to the lab in his wheelchair and got to the med bay and he sees something that made his eyes widen. Naruto? He asked. The blonde turned around holding on to the table. Charles, how long was I out? He asked. Charles sighed. 8 months, he responded. Naruto eyes widen. 8 months, I have never been in a coma for that long, he said. He looks at the professor. How is Aurora? He asked. Charles smiles. She is good and the twins are healthy, he said as he rolls over to Naruto. Naruto stutters. Twins, he said. Charles nods his head. Can I see her and my children? Asked Naruto. He smiles. Sure, said the professor. Naruto walks out a little wobbly and he gets to the Aurora in his room. H enters and sees his lover sleeping with a crib in the corner. Naruto gets in bed and looks at Aurora. Next morning Aurora wakes up and sees a mop of blonde hair in bed. It can't be, she said. She pulls the cover and sees Naruto sleeping peacefully. Honey, time to wake up, she said. Naruto wakes up and smiles at Aurora. Morning my love, he said as he was punched by Aurora in the stomach. He looks up and sees Aurora crying. You dummy, don't do that again. Do you how much I worried if you were going to wake up? She said crying. Naruto sighs and hugs her. I'm sorry Aurora for not being there for the birth our children and for you, he said. Aurora continues to cry on Naruto's shoulder. It's all right my love, I am sorry, he said. Aurora stops crying after about 10 minutes and takes Naruto's hand. I want you to meet your children, she said. Naruto smiled. I would love to, he said as the two walk to the crib and Naruto sees 2 children. The boy had white hair and dark skin with blue eyes he inherited from both mother and father. The girl had a mix of white and blonde hair with a lighter complexion, but tan. She too had blue eyes. Naruto picks up the boy. His name is Minato David, she said. Aurora picks up the girl. And this is Kaguro Cyrus, she said. Naruto smiled. I am a father Aurora, whispered Naruto in shock. Naruto put the baby in the crib and Aurora does the same. The two get close and they lock lip and kiss without breaking apart. The two head down to the kitchen and Naruto smiles at seeing all the X-Men and Magneto who teaches at the institute. Naruto, they all say as they rush their comrade and teacher. Naruto knew that the known existence of mutant will problem, but he was content being with his friends and most importantly his love and children. End the short as epilogue. So this part ends here. Alright, that's it for today's video guys. Let me know in the comments section how was the story and also don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I will meet you in another video. Bye bye.